Hey, we have two of me. There we go. How's it going, everybody? I don't know if I have layer, Adam. I just saw that comment, and I was like, I feel like that's been recommended to me 100 times, and I don't know if I have it. And if I don't, I'll buy it right now. Yeah, I don't have it. Okay, maybe I'll buy it. Maybe I'll take a break halfway through the stream and pick it up. Um, let me look at the website really fast, and I'll show you the website. Everybody, don't worry. Oh yes, okay. I remember seeing this. I have so many windows open. Whenever I'm in like my research phase of the channel, I have a million windows open. One weird, so there's like a weird video concept that I kind of want to do. I think. I don't know if it will actually become a video, but Cameron Venus Theory is coming down this weekend to sort of play around with the concept. So it's going to be weird, definitely unusual. It's going to be an interesting Christmas video. A huge portion of my life is leaves and grass and plants overgrowing and things like that. And I live on a hill. I live on top of a hill, and so it's actually quite difficult. So as of right now, I own an Ego's finest model of electric lawnmower, the one, or at least the walk behind one. It's self-propelled. That one is not powerful enough for my entire property, but it is the best electric lawnmower I've ever used. That a push or walk behind lawnmower. I love how I just pop into this stream talking about lawnmowers, but it is related to my channel. Second one is like your standard run-of-the-mill tractor, like your 40, I think it's a 47-inch bottom blade, runs on gas, loud as hell, it stinks. It was assembled wrong from Home Depot. They refused to pick it up. I did a bank charge back. It's still sitting here. I may actually go to small claims court over it. It's ridiculous. Third one is a Ryobi I call it the Stephen Hawking lawnmower because it's a zero turn, but it just has a joystick. And you literally sit in there like this, mowing the grass. It's really strange. Like the posture just literally feels like you're Stephen Hawking. And I know that it's not fun to make fun of, like, Stephen Hawking's brilliant and wonderful and I'm glad he exists and all that. But this lawnmower really just makes you like feel like you have no control over your limbs. And that one gets stuck everywhere. And then finally, I have this company really wants to send me this super high-tech mower that can be remote controlled, that can be like robotically set up. It uses AI, all that stuff. It runs on like a massive battery. The thing's huge. Like you could stand on it and I don't know if it will let you, but it can like carry things for you. It could tractor like 1,000 pounds or something like that behind it. And I'm just like, I'm not doing a review on a mower, but like, this is an actual problem that I deal with, and it would be kind of interesting to just like compare these wildly, vastly different ways of dealing with life. I think it would just be a funny video, so maybe I'll do that. But what were we talking about? Reverb. Yes. Okay. This is a layer. I cannot believe I don't have this. It's been recommended to me so many times. It's been on my radar, and I do not have it. Is there any DRM I need to? Oh, I have something else from them. I have their Digitalis. Yeah, sketch cassette. Okay. Well, as long as I don't have to do anything crazy. Ooh, the demo is fully featured, but have a brief 1 second and a half, so I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that on stream. Okay, I'll buy it in a moment. But in the meantime, we have Revolv from Klevgrand, Klevger. What would I call them? Klevgrand. Actually, let's see if that's Vector. No, I don't think it is. I was wondering if I could just scale it up. But the really interesting one is actually not a reverb plugin. The really interesting one that I am excited to show you that the developer of this, I think Wide Blue Sound, the developer of this reached out to me more than once. Like, and was just like, hey, I have something you'd be really interested in. And then I looked at it and I was like, that sounds like something I would be definitely interested in. And then like everything, I put it off and just never got around to like doing a stream with it or anything like that. And then the developer reached out again and said, hey, just a bump, reminder that like, in case you wanted to check this out, we also have this. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is great. And then I tested it out and I was like, yeah, this is everything that it promises to be. And then, I got lost in some other shit. And now here we are finally looking at this. And I promise you, you will agree with me that it's, well, let's find out how much it costs first before I introduce it. Because if it's like $1,000, I'll be like, maybe you'll want to wait till next Black Friday. Okay, so this is Silencer. Yeah, $99. Okay, definitely worth it. I can tell you that already. So this is not a reverb plugin. This is a reverb loading plugin, and I'm gonna load just Valhalla Vintage Verb in it, right? Now I'm going to load, I don't know, maybe let's load Visco. I haven't played with Visco much. Okay. Visco, by the way, is a drum machine. Oh, cool. All my octaves are across. All right. So, no effects are on Visco, right? Just make sure we don't have any. It does have a diffuser and stuff, but only the limiter is enabled. We could even turn that off. Okay. So what we are going to do is bring this into Silencer, and what it seems like Silencer is doing is loading up multiple versions of each. I think it loads multiple versions of each reverb and then assigns it when a trigger hits. So here's a reverb, right? As expected. Nothing's that crazy here. All right. Now check this out. Ready? This is gonna blow your mind. This is the moment when everybody's gonna be like, if they're into reverb, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? Okay, ready? Let's hear that snare again. Cymbal. And now, nope, sorry, didn't. There we go. Here we go. It cuts it off and adds an entirely new reverb channel with each and every note. It's like the most advanced gate you've ever heard. So you could just even if you have a reverb that like lasts forever. And we are going to play with this and have a lot of fun with it because it is crazy. Yeah. This is one of those things where I am so glad that it exists. Like, it's one of those things that I do manually in my piano. I do it with like the modulation in my piano roll in FL Studio. I draw it out and I'll load different reverbs and I'll have, and like if you have a reverb that's this long and if you have a 160 BPM song, you run out of channels. Like you literally, you can only have, I don't even know what, 8? You can only have 10 slots. And so it's like, you end up like making this crazy polyphonic reverb, and this actually does exactly what you need. And so like as soon as I installed this, I played with it. I was like, oh my God, this actually works. It does what it says it does. And then I immediately just played the V drums for like an hour through it and was blown away. Yeah, so there are reverbs that it doesn't work with, but I mean that it doesn't work entirely with. I'm just going to load, maybe I'll load that IK Multimedia drum thing, Moto drum. Someday. Okay. just get rid of the reverb on this so I could play my Aerosmith beat, whatever that was. All right. I've literally never really done anything in this program, so I don't know why I'm... Mixer, room. There we go. We don't need a room. We're in a booth. These aren't really all that different, are they? This is also probably a really old version. Okay. So let's load up. What was the question there? Does it load Beam? Yes. All right, let's see. I may not have Beam. Ugh. I don't even know what I clicked. I'll redo it. Oh, slap spray. Do I not have things? I've been noticing this new trend where plugins are just periodically asking me for my registration information. Like if I don't use it for 6 months, then it just bugs me with that again. I don't know if that's what happened there. I may have just not fully installed that spray. I think I did because I think I've used it. Or maybe the demo expired. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not throwing shade on the company. But yeah, like I noticed this with Omnisphere and Keystep, that it just bugs me for my activation thing and just tells me to go through it again. And that is the point when I pirate something immediately if I need it again. Like I'll just be like, okay, if I need this for an old session, then I'll pirate it. I'm so fucking annoyed with with that stuff. It drives me absolutely crazy. Vast would be a good one for this, wouldn't it? I'm gonna be surprised if this works with Vast actually, because Vast is convolution. Whoa. Let's get one of the weird ones. Don't they have like experimental, yeah, creative textures? This seems like it's loading too. So it makes me wonder, like, what... also, so in here, you can also edit this list and select... These are just, like, ones that I have selected. Oh, yes, I might actually have Beam in here. So, no, I still haven't scanned it in. Yeah, there's a bunch of things that, like... and also, it's not only reverbs, which is crazy to me. So, like, I wonder if it, like, a good test. Ooh, texture would be no, maybe not. I'm trying to think, like, what would be a good, yeah, maybe Supermassive would be good. And then it'll tell you if it doesn't support it for some reason, if it doesn't support all of the features. So let's take a look and see if that works. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it should... Yeah, it'll tell me, no, don't use this mix. Use this one. And we're still under 15% CPU, so that's good. Yeah, I wonder what happens if we like run this forever. Okay. Okay. So, Another thing you can do is focus EQ. This I haven't even played with yet, but this, it looks like this would only make a trigger on certain EQ points, maybe. And there's sidechain, there's strip. Ooh, okay. That gates it. Sidechain. Like that'll allow certain things to remain playing. So that way I could hit, yeah, that way I could hit the trigger and like. That's so crazy. So it only triggers, so that's actually like, let's select a more sane, well, this is a bad plugin to select anything sane. Maybe small, reverb 2000. There we go. Okay. Yeah. I think we could just play a beat from here, can't we? Yeah, grooves. Pop. Okay. Yeah, it tells tame it. Yeah. I want to try some echo on it, just some standard echoes. Thought I enabled one. Oh well. Or like physical modeling would be really crazy with this. What's a physical modeling resonator? That is a plugin. Well, I'll think of one. Freak echo. Oh, delay. That's one. Okay. That's perfect. And then if we could like sync that with the actual metronome. I love that. Yeah, that really, I feel like this is almost more useful with echo than it is with delay, isn't it? Data broth, yeah. just testing out a silencer. You know, I'm not too far. I was just thinking last night, I was sitting here. What was I doing? I think I was working on music. And I just heard, like, right outside my window, I heard like just roo this fucking coy wolf right out there, and I thought it was like a stray dog at first because I was like, there's no way a coy wolf would literally get right out there, but it certainly was, and there's a bunch of them, a massive pack of them in the woods behind my house right now. And as you know, I have chickens, and I have a neighbor as well that has some little dogs and has an outdoor cat. And so, speaking of silencers, I wouldn't use a silencer, but I, went outside and shot some 22 LR bullets into the air just to scare them off. But that may happen during this stream. I was literally thinking before the stream, I was like, watch that happen in the middle of the stream, and people are going to accuse me of being a psychopath for... Whenever you run into those situations, some city folk will be like, why don't you just buy at KFC and it'll leave your chickens alone? I did not realize this had a diffusion knob. I've never really used this plugin just because, there's a million delay plugins that all works just fine, and yeah, I never realized this. Wow. Well, maybe one day we'll have to do a stream just on this. What a drum kit, huh? Needs a trigger a little earlier. Yeah, right, data broth. That's maybe I will. Oh, I could play it from my computer. I literally just sent some howling samples to someone because I was just hearing it on my porch. It was more in the distance, but ready? I think this will play. Yeah, there's Lucy being a badass. Yeah, that's them in the distance. Yeah, the physical audio, what are those called? Maybe I could just search by vendor here. See if any work as effects that I have. Thought I did. Yeah, dual spring, dual plate, dual spring. Okay. Let's see if this works. I have a feeling that might not, just because it's an off-brand. Now I'm paranoid. Now I'm listening for coyotes. Dual spring. And the other one, plates. Plate, plateau. Well, let's just use the spring one. Again, I keep forgetting about half of these things. Dual spring. Uh-oh. I bet it's running it at 44 or something. Or it's such a heavy plugin that it is actually buffering my... Nah. get triple buff. Well, no, we got some underruns. Nah, okay, it's not that. Yeah, I was gonna say I could move up to 512 just to see if it fixes that, for now at least. Weird. Okay. I would have to reopen the session to move to. But yeah, this would be a fun one, wouldn't it? Yeah, you know, I saw, you know where I saw coyotes that like blew my, or coy wolves actually, that blew my mind was in Chicago, downtown Chicago on the beach. I just saw like coy wolves just walking down, just like, what the hell? It's like literally there's no less rural place you could be. Oh yeah, piano verb will be fun. This is free, by the way. Just playing my drums and a piano. Actually, PSP, I believe, has a new reverb, don't they? Damn. Why am I shit? I'm gonna do a Q&A and just install shit while talking to the camera because I totally forgot about that, and I'm really curious about it, and you know, rather than being like another reverb stream next week, might as well just. You know what else would be cool? Fuck, what are those? Oh man, I wonder if Tornado would work with this. That would be so weird. Tornado. Yeah, it's there. Let's see if it would work. I mean, I'm gonna be blown away if it works. That's gonna be really weird. Okay. What? I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna make sense. So you could put like a freeze verb in there. Oh, I see what's happening now. Okay, so it's loading this how many times? So let's play a weird sound like a cowbell. What? No cowbell? Well, okay, this one, that's not weird, but all right. Okay. And now we'll hit some normal drums and we'll wait until this one cycles back. That's 2. Oh wow, it must be like something to do with the frequency. And this will cut that out. Okay. We've entered some weird domain. Okay, well, I'll try loading Springs one more time. Oh, this Springs. This is actually a good example too. I'm surprised that this works. Well, these this company's plugins audio thing always drives me nuts because if you're left-handed, it like doesn't work. Like you have to click everything with the wrong button. Yes, I have Seventh Heaven. We could look at Seventh Heaven if you want. Oh wow, yeah. Amp springs. Wonder if they have my little toy train spring. Yeah, this makes like reverb way more digestible. Way more digestible. Heaven. Did I install Seventh Heaven? Or uninstall Seventh Heaven? I might not even have it on this. Is there a different name for it that would be in the plugin thing? Yeah, the Liquid Sonics thing. Maybe it's called something else. Oh yeah, it's Reverberate. It's a... I think. Right? It would be part of this. Well, let's look at the website. Yeah, it says Reverberate library. I know I've had it at one point, or I tested it or something. I tested it a while ago, and then I tested it again when I made my video. And I was not, you know, it's fine, but I was not like blown away by it. This has, yeah, Reverberate has the Bricasti M7 emulation, which I feel like that's a terrible idea if you are Bricasti to authorize that emulation. Like, they should be like, no, that's not right. You need our special chips, because, like, for anybody who doesn't know, the Bricasti is like a, what is it, like $7,000 or some bullshit. Yeah. It's not, I mean, it's a good reverb. It's for that money. It's like buy an Eventide H9000. Yeah, what do those go for? Ah, did they go down in price? It's only about $5,000 now. And they're old. They're not new at all. I mean, I don't want to like shit on this company. I mean, it's a good reverb. It's, you know, I guess if you got used to how to use these on things like specific drum tracks and stuff. But to my knowledge, so it comes with that remote. Ugh, I wish they show me the back. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it only has 2 in, 2 out, which is just nuts for that amount of money. Like, you can charge $5,000 for 2 in, 2 out. Ugh. 6 state-of-the-art dual-core analog device DSPs. I mean, when did this come out? I don't know, whatever. But I'm not gonna like explore that. But I feel like it's the kind of reverb that somebody at a that's somebody who like a 65-year-old producer who works in Nashville, Tennessee would buy. Like, I feel like that's the sort of yeah, so I'm assuming that this is Seventh Heaven. Yes. It's just it's like since I'm loading it into Reverberate, the bigger plugin. But the last time I looked at this, I remember it being like, yeah, man, like you want $1,000 for the reverb? Like, this is an impulse loader. $1,000. I mean, I guess what, you know what though? Who am I to say? Like, it's loading. Maybe they spent a lot of money getting those impulses. I can't really shit on that. I don't have all of those impulses, but I have the churches. It's just one of those things where you're just like, what are you doing? Yeah, it's like one of those things that's made for Nashville stuff, like a desk of 500 series modules and all that crap. What else did I want to check before taking a break to download more plugins? I had to load it in a different channel, didn't I? Oh yes, the Clevgr Revolv. Okay. So it's an auditorium. Can we make you any bigger? My old eyes. Nah. I mean, whatever. It has photos in it. I don't know how this could be a vector plugin, really, but I'm starting to get so obsessed with just vector plugins because you could just move them around, make them big. I like this, though. I like that it tells you where the reverb's coming from. That's actually pretty clever. I mean, like, if I'm working on music, I could give a fuck. Where like realistically, I'm just like, I'm using my ears for this part, but I guess if you're just procrastinating. I wonder if... Yeah. They seem like solidly sampled impulses, though. Let's just play a beat. I'm gonna sell these beats to a rapper. Yeah, okay. Here we go, buddy. I got some beats for sale. Here's one. You like my beats? All right. And then we could edit the width. Artificially decay it. Ooh, different microphones. Can we do that? Oh, we could place them differently. Okay, so it seems like they must have placed the microphones in different areas when sampling these, I'm assuming. Maybe not. Maybe I'm imagining functionality that's not there. Wait. No, it just tells us about it. Okay. I really, the other day I just looked at the Clevgrand website. I mean, I have a few of their things. I was just looking at it, and I was like, I really just want to do a stream on nothing but Clevgrand, like making a track with that. That would be really fun. And then I looked at the bundle, but it was like $2,000 or something. I was just like, okay, I don't have $2,000 to spend on a bundle for that. It's a little much. I like supporting, but just for a stream. Oh, look at this. We found it. Lovely. No, I've not seen Kretz, but I have. I mean, I definitely like. I seem to check out, like, at least look at the website every time they they put something out. Like I somehow get an email about it or something. All right, how about a country beat? I live on a farm. All right. Funk. Choose a different kit. There we go. Okay. Yeah, these are pretty solid sounding. Okay, those are stages. So now we can, yeah, we got a lot of different runes in nature, historical halls, odds and ethereal stages. Gotta check out odd and ethereal. So it's just like a farm field? Oh. Sounds pretty drummy, or garagey rather. Sounds drummy too. Yeah. Yeah, somebody just playing the drums in my backseat. Hey now, this is my old trick. The parking garage trick. For anybody who's familiar with my older music, a lot of Curlian selections was like the reverb in Curlian selections. There wasn't really algorithmic reverb available on the computer, at least that I had any access to, that could run at the, yeah, that could basically sound and run the way that they do now. Like you didn't have a Vahawa. This is 2000, I guess it was 2002 and 2003 when I was making, maybe 2003, 2004 when I was making that album. So I would go down to parking garages with two, I think they were SM57s, and I taped them up, and I would just put them on top of my Oldsmobile and then blow up balloons and then use those in the songs. I have a picture of it. I have a picture of me doing it too at somewhere. And like my girlfriend at the time is just looking so bored. She's like sitting on the floor of a parking garage, like, 10 stories beneath downtown Chicago. And this is nothing. The parking garages that I sampled, man, they have way more than this. Okay, oh, this one we could select microphones. Nice. Damn. Ooh. I like that one. That one's really nice. It's a great impulse. A planing mill. All right, I'm going to find a planing mill near me now. There are mills near here, but like abandoned paper mills and stuff, but no planing. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love it when there's like clicks in it or like lumps. That's like the best way I could describe it. That's why me and Cameron went to that cave, because it's like caves are full of that kind of reverb. Oof. I love what that does to kicks. You know what I wish they did? Instead of using all these nice fancy name brand microphones, I wish they used a, what I do reverb samples with now. Thought I heard a coyote again. What I do reverb samples with now is, do I have it around here? It's in the other room. I have my own microphone. Well, I have one here actually. This one. Oh, this is one of the top capsules. There you go. I'll make my screen big. Yeah. So I put these capsules together, just solder these up, and these record about up to, I would say, 100, maybe 170 kilohertz. And so when you record this at 192 32-bit, then when you want to make an impulse of it, and so like listen to how this sounds. Let me use like well, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good, I just need a good tick. Let me, if this is boring, just tell me that this is boring and I'll stop talking about this particular dumb, nerdy shit. Let me just get a little noise blast here really fast. Not that. Random is noise. Okay. All right. That's a noise blast. Make it into a click. I need to do a stream where I just make an entire track with 3 of us. I think somebody else did that, though, didn't they? Okay, just a little. There we go. Okay. So, this is recorded with this MKH 8020, which, let's look up the rating on that. Spectrum. I'm gonna bring us back into here really fast. Okay, yeah, the Sennheiser, the stereo pair of those, you get up to about 60. No, okay, about 50,000. So 8020s bring you up to about 50,000 hertz. So what happens is when you decay it, so hear how rich that sounds. And when you decay it, it goes, all of a sudden the richness, you just cut off that whole top shelf and it doesn't sound as spectacular anymore. So that's why I got to use these because they go way up. Also, what these are great for, I could just go outside at dusk and set them outside for a bit and then look at the spectrum and like tune it way, way down and just resample it, or just, you know, play it at a different sample rate and hear all the bats, hear all the sonar. It's pretty wild. The amount of shit you hear up in those spectrums outside. Insects too. There's a lot of insects that you can't really hear, but yes, no more cave trips. That was not fun. Ah, all right. Here's another one that would be... Ooh, yeah, I bet we could hear... I bet some of these have various different speaking or sampling rates. Yeah. Yeah, this one probably is higher. Let's see. U87 frequency response. Ooh. 70,000. Yep, you could hear it. Damn, so they must have been using a pair of those things, huh? And that's like a studio set of those probably cost, I don't know, 8 grand or something? 7 grand? Newmans are not cheap. I like that too. I'm only playing noise, by the way. We're literally just listening to the exact. I can make this a little shorter even. There we go. Yeah, without the reverb, we're literally just... Yeah, it's pretty legit. I dig it. Nice. Why would anywhere in Sweden need an ice rink? Isn't Sweden an ice rink in itself? To be as stereotypical as possible. All right. Modern gatherings. I have a speech problem today, apparently. Oh. A gym. Sounds about right. I wonder if anybody's going to get so obsessed with this plugin that they're going to like read this stuff and then like go visit every place. Like take their honeymoon to Sigtuna and like just walk into the school and be like, just like complete asshole. You know what's funny is I never wanted to go to Sweden. Ever, like I never had a desire to go to Sweden until I did the video on the one Spotify money laundering and like all of the whole crime underworld of Sweden, like the murders and stuff, which sounds really crazy, but like for some reason it's almost as if that like made it more relatable or something. Like it was more relatable to Chicago. Or maybe I just like only imagined old school Swedish culture and then found out that there's like a multi-ethnic culture there. And then I was like, oh, that, you know, now I actually want to go and hang out in Sweden for a while. Maybe I will get a job at Klevgrand. And then I will have their entire suite of plugins for free. And I will do a stream then. That'll be worth it, right? My main channel just goes into ruins. Like, it's a small gym. Kind of want to play the guitar through some of these too. Wooden rooms. Nice. Yeah, not many wooden rooms in America. I guess my house is a wooden room. Not this building, but my house is basically like a log cabin. Yeah. I'm gonna have to pop the guitar through these. I want to check out one. No, we already did that. Okay, yeah, we checked them all out. Popping in the Geeter. I don't know which one to play. I guess the if I were a cable. There he is. I have a Samsung key thing that, like, you know, beeps when I lose my keys, which is like never, and it just beeps constantly every time I move. It drives me absolutely crazy. I think the Apple one does that too. Okay. I'm so used to plugging my guitar on the wrong side. Let's load up. What is this? Channel 10. That's actually funny. That sounds so good that, like, I thought it was coming through the speakers in here because I, like, heard the room reflection. Yeah. Yeah, this is just a dry input. That's crazy. Yeah, that sounds really, really good. Wow. It's almost coming in too hot. Way out of tune. Sometimes you'll be in a place and you'll just clap your hands and, like, be like, oh my god, I need an IR of this, and you bring it home and it's just not it. It's so weird. And there's other places where you record an IR and it's really underwhelming when you're there, and then you bring it home and ooh, that's nasty. I may have to look at this later. I've been very unimpressed with PRS. And the worst part about my PRS experience is that, like, other people who have PRSs, they're like, oh, you got the student edition. It's like a fucking $1,000 guitar. Like, oh, you got the student edition. So yeah, you need to spend $2,500 for it to sound like a good guitar. Let's get a hall going. Maybe a historical hall. Well, Where in Colorado is that? I don't think I have any desire to go to Colorado this winter, but that's like one of those things where when I'm on a cross-country trip, I might just go do the IR recording. Yeah, these are nice and long. Wrangley, Colorado. As I type it with one pinky. Ah, right by Moosehead Lodge. Lodge. All right. I'm going to keep that on my map. Yeah, this is beautiful. I mean, also the decay is double, so let's hear it the way it actually is. This is if I were actually there. I kind of want to hear that, God, there was one that, maybe it was an odd and ethereal. Was it this one? Yeah. I think. Nah. Yeah, it was this one. Yeah, that's smooth. Do I have any videos on how I capture acoustics of space for sound modeling? Yeah, if you search Ben Jordan Adventures in Ambience, I've risked my life a few times for that. Also in the cave, I think I explained how I calculate impulses. Although that cave actually wasn't about impulses. That's not the reason the reason I went was to test acoustic coefficients to try and figure out what the geography of, like, what the mineral makeup of the walls was. Yeah, there's a good drunk in the bathroom. Yeah. I'm just drunk in the bathroom playing the guitar. That's what I would play if I were drunk in the bathroom. Okay, I want to try silencer. With my guitar. Maybe with that's just vintage reverb is fine for now. Whoa. That's fun. So maybe if I had, now let's figure out how to switch it to where. Okay, so I think I want high pass, not low pass. Nope, I want low pass. I want the high to remain, and I want the low to cut it out. Maybe I'm not using this part right. There's also MIDI for this as well, which is something that I want to test out in a moment. Okay, maybe this will do it. Well, all right, let's play with MIDI then. How does MIDI work? Let's find out. Browse parameters. Beat trigger time. Manual trigger. I bet that's it. Okay, so I'm going to hit my sustain pedal. And it's not going to work. Because fuck you. This knob. Okay, fine. Or is MIDI not working? MIDI's clearly working. Maybe I need to set up a MIDI out. And then port in. This would be a pain in the ass. Port in 4, port out 4. Okay, let's try that again. Manual trigger. And then select this and no. It said fuck you again. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just play a note. Or I guess automate it. Every step. guess we could just make a beat too while we're at it. Oh, this doesn't need to be reverberated. Okay. Really inspiring stuff. All right. So maybe if we do it this way instead. Yeah, it's really just like a sustain pedal. It's funny. Okay, so maybe we'll just actually treat it like a sustain pedal. A little bit faster, please. Give me a the old speed workflow. Wonderful. All right. That works. Now I want to try it with like a freeze verb if possible. That'd be fun. What's a good freeze verb? Does one exist? Black hole. I mean, might as well try it with black hole. I guess we could even use like a glitchy delay, couldn't we? Could we get a less stupid drum set? Nope. No, we can't. No chill on the drums. All right. All right. I really wish that I could just play with my pedal. But I also want to try delay now. It's not delay. Okay, something that goes with the beat. Go! I don't know how entertaining or boring this is for a stream, but I'm just doing what I do. As long as I keep... Oh wait, no, we need to do this now. I want to try Tone X. I've been talking about it so much. Propping it up. Load before the reverb gets too crazy. All right. Can we... What the fuck is happening? Fuck you. Fuck you. And then it gives... After I say no, it's like, always download without asking? Unfucking believable. Stuff like that just drives me nuts. All right, no, those are magnets. Somewhere I gotta pick. Those are key fobs. I had a whole bag of picks. Oh, here they are. Okay. The most frustrating thing when I was working when this place was being built, and that was just either packing or like doing you know, hard labor all day with helping build this place. My carpal tunnel was acting up so bad, but it was just like every day I'd have so many packages to open and stuff. It just drove me so nuts. It was so difficult. I felt like an elderly person. I should probably have some sort of seat here that doesn't require me to do this. All right. I want an electric guitar. I want a jazz amp. And apparently, I thought I had them in my preset. Tone model. Clean. There's like a whole online ordeal too, where you could tone net is what it's called. And you could select guitar, and you can say, I want clean, and see if it has the amp that I have sitting in the other room over there. Just to showcase how great how great technology is. This one's a neural DSP. This isn't what I was looking for, but... Am I missing something here? This is what I want. Okay. Did you get how much did you pay for Melda's complete bundle, Kev Human? I was just looking at it. They sent me the complete bundle, and then of course did what all of them do. Did the common thing of then taking away my license like a year after I did the video, and then took away all the ones that I've purchased as well with that. Just like, thanks, guys. Oh, that ain't bad. Okay. Because I was just looking and it was like, yeah, it was like that $1,000 or something. If you could just make it not as quite. There we go. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Yeah, Mel, this stuff's great. I'd load them up, and I'm scared that, like, I don't know which ones are registered at this point. Uh-oh. Does that mean it's the whole thing's crashed? Or FL Studio is a pretty good way of dealing with crashes, because it loads the plugins in their own separate program that it links to. So like if a plugin crashes, usually the program's fine, and you could just reload the plugin or whatever, which is pretty rad. Yeah, I really need to get a MIDI switch working with this somehow. I don't know why I can't. Yeah, my little switches on here are not showing as MIDI. Scene. Oh. Oh, my montage is frozen, that's why. The screen is. Okay. Well, good to know that it's my problem, not their problem. Wow, you could write your own filter algorithms? Okay, we'll have to check that out. Woo! I'll never get that sound again. Might as well reboot this thing. It would really be a shame to not actually be able to play with it that way. It crashes like once every 3 weeks. Just like have to reboot it. I do wonder, I mean, I know I have M Turbo Reverb. Let me see if I can actually load that up here. If it asks me for my license info and makes me go through that again, I'm just going to lose it. Oh, whew, okay. Yeah, like my favorite thing to do in M Turbo Reverb is well, we can't do it now because I'm not roped through his channel, but my favorite thing to do is just hit the random button and randomize all the algorithms. Such a good way to get like a old school crappy reverb sound that's not turned back on. Yes, it did. Okay. Now the MIDI's working, I think. Okay, MIDI mode. Go to a new pattern so we don't have to worry about that triggering it. Browse. Manual trigger. Link to controller. No. Still giving me shit, huh? Maybe I need to put this in performance mode. Mixing. What a pain in the ass. All right. Good. It's one of those things where I'm just like, you know what? No more streaming. Let's just play a game. Everybody could watch me go through a menu on a synth that you can't even hear. That sounds like a good time. Utility, thank you. Quick setup. MIDI record on DAW. Good. Okay. Hey, the thing went away. No? Still no? Really? I'm gonna lose my mind. This is so frustrating. Oh, it's switched to port 0 now. Yeah, this montage is probably going to get moved out of the what do you call it? MIDI controller area. Okay, now. Nope. Okay, fuck it. We just won't be able to do that, I guess. This one works. Yeah. Okay, well, it's cool to know that we could do this. It's just that right now with this particular DAW and this particular plugin. Let's load up M Turbo Verb here. Oh, I'll check that out too. Maybe I should have two reverb streams. God, these are all different algorithms too. PWC. Nice. literally never run out of reverbs if you just do this all day. One thing that I wish it had is VU meters for each algorithm, so you could see like what's affecting what at which time. I mean, they do down here, but I wish you could see it like everywhere at once. A big algorithm window, but I guess that would be like a whole new program. Should really put a compressor on the other end of this. We could just listen to reverb algorithms go crazy. Maybe it's time to get a EBO out. This would be good if I had a mic out the window too. Maybe an EBO with batteries in it would be better. Yeah, that might even work. This could turn into Thursday afternoon pretty easily. Yeah, and I do have a big ass monitor, but I never, like, whenever I do anything in FL Studio here, it's always like I'm just really stuck in a tiny little window so the stream could see it, because otherwise it's literally 3 times the size. It's just a long monitor. Try and create like a pad gen. All right, my pad generator. No, I'm not familiar with wave-based reverb. Is this like a new term or something? I've not heard it before. Yeah, I've not heard about it. I'm interested. Is there like a plugin that does it or claims to do it? Is this a, and also, is this something that only one company's doing? Is this a term that they've invented, or is this something that like a YouTuber said that like all of a sudden is now not to like discredit all YouTubers, but I feel like a lot of these things are sort of like new buzzwords that aren't actually things, or... Okay, I'm gonna search it. Wave-based reverb. A weave-based reverb, that's... Okay. This is a press release. Yeah, So let's load it up really fast. I'll take a look what I see here. Actually, let me load it up on... I don't want it to be geared towards my own thing, so I'm gonna open up in a what do you call it? Incognito tab. All right. Let's see what comes up when you search wave-based reverb. All right. We have some articles. 50 years of artificial reverberation. Interactive wave-based sound propagation. That's not it. That's probably older. Yeah, that's like from the 50s. Looks to be. Oh, I have this. I have this paper. I don't think it's quite that old, but it's old. All right. 2012. Yeah, I don't think this is anything related to wave-based reverb, whatever that is. Okay, so let's keep looking. Using wave files. Oh. Yeah, for anybody who's into collecting research papers, let me get this guitar off my lap. I have a heavy old... Ugh. Okay. Anybody who's into collecting research papers, I have a recommendation. Surprised I've never mentioned it on my channel or anything like that, but it's this thing. BOOX. The premium color one looks like this. Actually is a color ebook reader that is not Amazon oriented. It can load Mobi files, but it loads EPUBs and PDFs and docs and everything else. You can write on it. You can take notes. You can save things. I used to print so many damn papers, and now they're all right on that thing. Okay, so, all right, we have a V Control article here. Oh, we have a YouTuber. He made a video. How long ago did he make it? Nope. Oh my God, is this my first reaction video? I wasn't satisfied with how reverb plugin sounded when doing realistic reverb. So naturally, I spent 2 years developing my own, like an insane person, wave babe. Okay. Whatever, let's watch it. Let's see what it does. I hate watching other people's videos simply because when I see people reacting to my content, I see them skipping through it and talking over it and shit, and now I'm doing it. Oh, okay, we have demos. Sorry, okay, well, instead of reacting this, so we have demos right here. Grand piano dry. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to see the methodology. Field separation is an important part of convolution reverb, as it allows you to control the different elements of the impulse response. The ratio between the early reflections and reverb tail is important to control the size and depth of the reverb. Having control over direct sound is also important if you want to simply add reverb or recreate a virtual room mic. Okay. Sampled convolution reverbs can only do this. Sorry, I should be reading out loud if I'm actually doing. Sampled convolution reverbs can only do this separation in time. The issue is that these elements usually overlap, so it's impossible to cut them properly with this method. Okay, I see what's happening. Yeah, okay. So he's just sampling them separately? Is that what I almost want to like have ChatGPT say this in a less marketing way. It is technically possible to go above 20 kilohertz, so that time stretching the IR is high quality, but because of the condition, render times will increase dramatically. That's not an equation I'm familiar with. I mean, that doesn't mean it. I mean, it doesn't mean anything if I'm not familiar with it, but I can't tell you what that is. Why am I not selling IR packs? Because ultimately I want to create a plugin with a specific workflow so that you can easily achieve the sound you're looking for and with a reasonable price. So in the meantime, I'm happy to create custom IR so that I can tailor the reverb exactly how you want with the room in it. So there's actually not like, okay. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like, all right, let's just watch this portion.
But is there a better way to approach this? Something that will give you both the ability to flawlessly separate the direct sound from the reverb, and actually generate the reverb like an instrument would. Well, for the past 2 years or so, I've been working on something just like that. Let me introduce you to wave-based reverb. The idea is that a truly realistic algorithmic reverb can't be processed in real time, and convolution reverb based on IRs of real spaces is too limited because of how it's measured. So, let's use a highly accurate sounding reverb algorithm with detailed 3D models of rooms in which we could load virtual sources with specific dispersions like real instruments, with none of the limitations that come from a real speaker, so no coloration at all, and with the ability to flawlessly separate the different elements of the reverb. And from that, let's just bake IRs out of it that we can process in real time.
What?
And you know what?
That's the sound.
Acoustic simulation software is not something new. It has been used for decades by acousticians to anticipate the behavior of sound in concert halls, stadiums,
Acoustic
lecture
simulation
halls, etc.,
software is hell,
without being
by the
on
way.
site, or even before the room is built. Traditionally, these software have been using something called geometrical acoustics, where reflections are calculated by tracing the path of the sound. And although they are sort of okay at predicting specific metrics of rooms, they are not designed to sound good. After putting to the test some of the most established software out there, this 2019 study concludes that the difference between simulated and measured IRs of the same scene was always clearly audible. Room acoustical simulations are not yet suitable to accurately predict the perceptual properties of sound sources in virtual acoustics environments at the current state of the art.
Yeah, I mean, this is I would assume that the reason that this would be is because in pretty much every acoustic simulation software that I've used, there's like you can't. Well, okay, so like even in a room as simple as this, where since this is a very complicated room, I mean, if you were to take everything out of the room, even in a room where it's just literally like drywall, I designed this room. I like designed the impulse for this room, like before just making the room. Like I'm the person who sketched out the room and told the builders how to build it, and placed the windows where they are and all that stuff. And I placed the windows based on the absorption coefficient of everything. But the reason why this paper would come to this conclusion, and why it would be kind of obvious, is because I can tell you the absorption coefficient of the walls and the windows and the floor and the ceiling and the rafters and even the vent and little things like that. But guess what? It all changes when the temperature changes. It all changes when the humidity changes. It changes by a little bit, but that little bit is enough to notice a difference between a simulated reverb and a real reverb, and it's enough to actually show a difference. If I were to measure my monitors with a measurement mic, they would actually show a difference depending on the temperature and the humidity and the season, and everything just changes over time. That's I guess that's anyway. I guess I'll just watch the rest of this portion. I don't want to completely do a reaction video here, but
however,
this is very up my alley.
From Icelandic startup Treble to the open source project Reverb, we've seen some software being released using a more modern kind of acoustics modeling called wave-based simulation. Instead of tracing the path of reflections like geometrical acoustics do, wave-based acoustics model air as a volume. The space inside the room is chopped into a 3D grid, a bit like an analog waveform is sampled. With this method, you can simulate how each point in the 3D grid interacts with its neighbors. It's kind of like simulating the particles of air, just on a bigger scale. This has the advantage of simulating all behaviors of sound, including diffraction, where geometrical acoustics usually fail. Look at this comparison between the two, and you can see that geometrical acoustics fail to propagate sound at the bottom because it doesn't model diffraction. And by the way, here we are talking about modeling reverb, but wave-based acoustics are not limited to just modeling air. It is possible that in the future, sound effects in animated movies will be purely generated by the animation itself. But a big limitation of wave-based acoustics is that it obeys the very same Nyquist-Shannon theorem of sampling. But now that we are dealing with more dimensions than just time, it's now called the Courant-Friedrichs-Lewy condition. And it basically means that the 3D grid gets finer and finer the higher the frequency of the wave is. And to cover the full range of human hearing, that is up to 20 kHz, the grid gets extremely fine, with about 8 million points for one single cubic meter. So for a standard concert hall of about 20,000 cubic meters, that means simulating 160 billion points 40,000 times a second.
It's one of those things though where it's kind of like a a problem, or like, I don't know, a solution without a problem, although he doesn't really, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think anybody's actually that uptight to make an impulse response, since we can already make impulse responses and then figure out the absorption coefficient of something that we're already seeing with a relatively high degree of accuracy, especially using AI. Yeah, especially like using, not necessarily AI, but machine learning. You can kind of predict yeah, I mean, think about like what we could do with just using acoustics to figure out what's underground before we dig something, to detect things like oil and lithium and all that kind of crap underground. We're already far here. We've already accomplished as much as we could beyond just what the human can hear. But there's still like 2 minutes left to this segment, so.
There are some techniques to save on the rendering times, but there are, well, yeah. So in the case of Waveverb and Treble, they are using a hybrid model, using wave-based acoustics only for the lower frequencies, which don't need such a fine grid. I also use a hybrid model, but for a different reason, separating the early reflections from the diffuse tail of the reverb. Here's what a simplified impulse response looks like, with the initial spike, which represents the sound directly hitting the microphone, then the early reflections, which is when the sound has bounced on just one or a couple of surfaces, and then the tail of the reverb, where late reflections blend together into a diffuse field, which you perceive as coming from all directions at once. The balance between these three elements is essential to control the amount, character, and clarity of the reverb. So what my hybrid model does is
It's a secret. Okay.
Alright, now let's see how it sounds. The examples I'm showing you today are based on a custom 3D model of Century Hall in Tokyo, which is one of the most iconic vineyard-style halls in the world, which is when the audience surrounds the stage. And whenever I'm going to compare it to other convolution reverbs, I'm going to choose their closest settings so that the comparison is as fair as I can do. Alright, let's start with a Fazioli grand piano, first with no reverb. And then with wave-based reverb. So just with this simple dry
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's not explaining the methodology really, because I assume he doesn't want somebody else to rip it off. Just, fair enough. I'm not gonna like call it. I'm not gonna call it snake oil or something. But really, it sounds like just my opinion. And if he ends up watching this and wants to contact me and show me the methodology, I promise to not tell anybody. But it's my thoughts on this is that if you take a ambisonic mic, like a higher order ambisonic mic, and just record an impulse with that, with a sine sweep, with a big sine sweep, with a fast sine sweep, and you figure out how fast and loud you want the sine sweep. There's calculations to do that, so you figure out the right one to get an accurate impulse without any coloration, or with as little coloration as possible. And then if you have a higher order ambisonic microphone, if you have like 16 ambisonic channels, you don't need to do any of this shit. You will have an impulse that like can achieve whatever you want it to achieve. And years ago, I did a video using an ambisonic microphone where I just showed how you could take one impulse. I think I rode my bike into a giant train tunnel, and I went into that. Now it's a bike path tunnel, but it's a very long, super reverberated tunnel. And I showed how you could emulate different microphones just from that ambisonic. You could actually have it facing different areas and change the wideness organically rather than just changing it artificially in a plugin or something like that. But when I see if what he's saying is true, like if he's actually figuring out this way to capture things with way more clarity than is otherwise possible with the things that I'm mentioning, then like I would almost say like bring it out of audio. Like why are you even doing audio at that point? Like this is sonic pressure you're talking about. You could use this for imaging. You could use this for reverse modeling, or for, I guess, like reverse engineering models that you would then use to figure out how big a space is underground or in a cave or something like that. That's generally if what you get to a certain point in pro audio, it doesn't matter anymore for music. Like we don't really need anything to be this accurate. Like we can already get it almost to the point where nobody can really tell a difference. So why not apply it to like a science that not only will requires higher fidelity but also pays you more than just whatever you would get for selling reverb impulses, which I've done and is not that much money. All right, but yeah, I don't want to say it's snake oil though. It's like, but it was funny when I saw in the chat somebody said, have you used wave-based reverb before, heard of wave-based reverb? And I was just like, I feel like I'm the person who should have heard of that. Like I'm the person who usually asks questions like that, and people are annoyed with me for it. So I was like, is this something new? Is this something I haven't? Yeah, but cool. No, I mean I'll give him a sub. That's I'll see how it goes. Is there anything that my viewers would want me to cover next week on next week's stream? That's not quite Christmas yet, the 19th, yeah. While we're in this chat, while I have you, I am gonna buy a layer. Maybe I'll just make a stream of music making or something. I don't even know what my viewers are like for this. Yeah. Pretty low. Okay, good. If there's like 500 people watching, I'd be like, man, I really need to spice this up a little bit. Just start punching myself in the face or something, drinking poison. All right. Christmas jazz, that could be fun. Yeah, I wonder if I tried to remake a like chiptune version of Vince Guaraldi's Christmas special if I would get copyrighted. Maybe that's the goal. Like if I know I've done it properly if I get copyrighted. That's my joke. My over reverberated joke drum set. Okay, well, I guess that was fun. Yeah, so this weekend I'm gonna be playing with a robotic lawnmower, I think. And then I have so many videos, like so many video ideas lined up, and so many like weird collaborations too. Like in the next one, like this channel, this channel is like gonna take off in some crazy places, and I'm really excited about it. But it's also like so much that my eyes are bugging out of my head. But I'm ultimately really excited. And I'm also like really excited to get a little bit more involved with AI in music in a much more anarchist bridge burning way, which is kind of happening next. I guess that I'll probably post about this at some point, but I'm leaving my position at VoiceSwap for a different position that is just basically research only, and my public and yeah, basically like I'll just be obviously there's no office that I work in or something like that. I'm just a co-founder, but if there was, that office would now be in the basement, like beneath the data center, like the Morgan Freeman making the Batman stuff area. Cool. But anyway, could you have a Canadian actor, Matt Frewer, as a guest because you are uncannily similar? Yeah, sure. I'll give him a call after this. I'll text him on a WhatsApp. Me and him are friends. We comment on each other's Pornhub comments. Does Pornhub still have comments? Admittedly, I haven't actually. I feel more embarrassed that I haven't looked at Pornhub in like 5 years. I remember them having comments and me thinking like, why does a porn site have comments? But guess that's what I'm going to do after this. And after this, I'm actually going to go check. I'm going to go outside and check my trail cams because those coy wolves are out, and I just need to find out if they're trying to get to my chickens. If my chickens need to go into super lockdown mode, or if they could still enjoy their coop at night, like the coop run. Not that they run around at night, but I ain't waking up at 6 a.m. to let them out. All right. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Very boring stream, probably for anybody watching. I enjoyed myself, but I'm appreciate it. I do want to react to people reacting to my videos at some point. Yeah, maybe I'll do that sometime soon. Maybe I'll have Cameron do that. Maybe Cameron and I'll do that this weekend or something if we get really bored. But I also really just want to burn things too, like not in like a pyromaniac way. I just have a lot of like leaves and downed trees and things like that need burning. So it's like I'm gonna be like, let's hang out outside at night. Let's hang out outside more. That'd be fun. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you next week. I'll figure out something to do on the stream, and it'll be a wonderful time. It'll hopefully be a little bit more exciting than this. Okay, bye. Oh, and thanks to Silencer for sending me that plugin, because I am already using it in some of my own sessions. So thanks. Bye.